questions. I think it's important to ask the right questions, because if you ask the wrong questions, they take you down the wrong path. And it was very important for me to be in control of the situation. I'm a bit of a control freak. Um,
Hi everyone, I have Rowena Morais with me, and she has been an inspiration to lots and lots of people, including me. So just to let you know a little bit about her, because she has so much I can't cover up in this small interview. She's the editor, a publisher, a program director since 14 years, and 2 TEDx speaker. And one of the most important things is she helped people build influence in their own community, across the people they are. She's doing some great work, and top it all, she I don't know how to express it, but she is the one lady I know who has been through the big C, cancer, and have overcome it beautifully, pushing the boundaries and overcoming all sort of fears that she has been through. And not only did she go through this, she actually raised awareness and also fund close to $2,000, which is 8,000 ringgits in Malaysia, for Cancer Research Center Malaysia. Isn't it, Rowena?
yes, it is, Kush.
Yes, so I'm so glad and I'm so happy to have you with me, and giving your precious time to share some useful things for the audience here. I really wish to know one very important thing. It's not easy to go through what you have been through, and I'm sure you have gone through phases when it actually happened last year in June. So can you please share because see, when you go through cancer, you don't only go through a physical condition, as we discussed. One also goes through a mental status condition. I mean, they mentally also feel quite weak, because it's kind of a phobia in the situation when you go through something called cancer. So how exactly can a person overcome that mental conditions when they are going through something which is not very easy to accept?
Okay. Well, first and foremost, Khushboo, thank you so much for inviting me to come on this show. I'm very thrilled and honored to be part of this series of yours. To answer your question, I would say there are a couple of things that I did that I feel really helped me. The first of which was to accept this part of the journey that I was on. So I feel that if you are in denial, if you don't want to accept um, whatever it is that you're facing, it can be pretty difficult to move on. It can be pretty difficult to get to the next stage. And I wanted to just find a way to resolve whatever it is that I was facing. So I accepted that I had cancer. I didn't question it. Of course, I did the tests and all of that to make sure that it really was what it was. But the second thing was I wanted to ask myself the right kind of questions. And I think that
I
that's
think
really
I'll just
important.
say something here. I really love the part where you say resolve. I mean, the idea of moving towards a solution and not sticking to where you are is
Yes.
something that's great. I mean, that's forward thinking. Superb. I mean, yes, acceptance can only lead to forward thinking. So I
Yes.
love it. I really love it. Yes.
Yes. Well, the thing about all of these things is it can sound very easy and all of that
Oh,
when we're
yes.
talking about it.
Yeah.
But the reality is it's not something that happened overnight. It took me months to get
Correct.
through this was a journey, right? It was a journey. It took months to get to this point. But um, I guess in a way I kind of enjoyed the journey. Sorry. Um, I asked the right questions. I think it's important to ask the right questions, because if you ask the wrong questions, they take you down the wrong path. And it was very important for me to be in control of the situation. I'm a bit of a control freak. Um, I need to control the situation. I need to be able to know where this is going. I need to know where I am headed. And so I needed to see how this situation that I was dealing with was going to fit into my life and fit in with the other things that I was working on. So the kind of questions I would ask would not be, why is this happening to me? Because I can't get any answer with that.
Yeah.
The questions had to be, what am I going to do with this?
Correct.
How am I going to overcome this? What steps am I going to take to help me manage through this? So a couple of things with that was, one, I just decided to also kind of take it one day at a time. When you're facing something so big like this, you can't have too many big plans. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, even when
Yes.
you do have these big plans,
Yes.
they kind of get short. So you got to adjust accordingly, right? You got to learn to live a little. And I kind of liked that because I was already kind of go, go, go. And this was a whole, like, brakes,
Yes.
screeching halt. No more go, go, go. You need to stop. You need to pause. So I said, okay, it's like, it's almost as if there are messages out there, but you got to be in the right mind frame to kind of hear and to see. And so I used the situation to kind of see, okay, what am I supposed to get out of this? Maybe I'm
Yep.
not supposed to do this.
The
Maybe
right
I'm supposed to go
question.
that. Yes. And the thing is, there are no answers, right? There's
Yeah.
nobody to say, yes, that is the right answer, or no, that isn't. You kind of just have to go with your gut feel. You kind of have to go with the flow. And um, you just have to put it out there. And the third thing I did was I shared my story. That was a difficult thing to do, but I also knew that I wanted to come out of this on the other side. I wanted to not just be a thing that I was undergoing. I wanted to see how I could do something positive out of something so negative. And
Correct.
so I decided to share. And in the process of sharing, I got a lot of help actually from friends and family, got a lot of support, and all of that helped to kind of um, make the process a little bit more bearable. You felt that you were not alone, and
Yeah.
that's a good thing. That's a
Yeah,
good
I
thing.
think, of course, I mean, if you talk about it, even if you bring forward to more people, I think it just builds that acceptability automatically. I mean, the point one that you mentioned, which was about acceptability, it actually happens quite smoothly if you go forward and you talk to more people about your health conditions. You tell them what you're going through, and they also share their views and support about it. I think it automatically all gels together and sums up to make you a more stronger person, to
Yes,
really, as you said, to make it more bearable. I mean, just easier. As easy would be the wrong word to say. Nothing is easy when you're going through something like this. But yeah, of course, it just becomes a little more bearable, I think. Great pointers. I and simply, I love the part where you mentioned about the right set of questions, because I think the one thing the people do when they really get touched by some kind of health condition, whether it be cancer or even something else, they end up saying, why me? I mean, why am I going through something like this? So I think if this question is just turned off, and instead we bring in that what should be the next step I should do to overcome my situation, like the right set of questions you mentioned, I think that will change the energy level, the mental health condition,
absolutely.
the positive thinking will automatically pop up in the person, and I think that will make a life on the
You're
right
absolutely
track,
right.
on the
As you
right.
were saying, when you're asking why me, it's as if you're just on the receiving end of stuff. But
Yes,
if you
and on a
say,
negative way, on a negative way.
and in a negative way, and
Yeah.
you just you're just there to accept. But if you change the question to what am I going to do about it, you're in the driver's seat, so you
Yes.
choose what you're going to do, and you feel so much more powerful. Even in that kind of situation, you feel so much more powerful. In
Yes.
fact, it's absolutely necessary in that kind of situation, because you have your power taken away through that
Correct.
situation.
Correct.
That if you are able to find ways and means to kind of give yourself that power back, then you feel more in control, and you feel like you can do something.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's so correct. I think great pointers. I don't know how to tell you, but I really salute your courage, and I'm so inspired by the story you have and the hard work that you're putting in, not only towards the research center, but also in your life, towards your kids, your family, and as an editor and as a program director to the company and stuff. All of it managing is not easy, and trust me, I can understand you have a lot on your plate and you're doing awesome with everything. I'm so happy to have you on our show, Women of Impact. You're
I'm so
surely
happy to have you here.
impacting so many people out there, not only women, and love that about you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Khushboo. It was so good to be here.
Yes.